Good morning, everyone. Hopefully, everyone's new year is going well. But in this electronic world, you know, it's rough. Man, we already got some crazy news when it comes to the DRAM crisis, and it's starting now. Definitely when we go over to South Korea with SK Hynix. You know, I've been telling you guys about these people. Same thing with Samsung. So, we ready? It says DRAM contract prices. Yeah, guys. Right, not, yeah, are projected to rise by a whopping 50% in this quarter. They're doing it again to us, man. They're doing it again to us already. Look, didn't we already have that issue? Didn't we already have that issue? Okay, so 50% more. What in the world? As shortages now appear to be out of control. So look, it looks like it's getting out of control now. You want to know who's angry and probably storming off even more? Microsoft and Google is probably angry too. Though I think Google's going to be fine. But here's the thing, because they didn't get that deal they wanted. And I told you, when it comes to SK Hynix, when it comes to Samsung, they got four people they want to be cartels to: Lenovo, Asus, Dell, which is still interesting. Dell, I want to know what the hell's going on there, and Apple, which we know Dell was always big back then with Nvidia and Intel and all them too. But apparently they may have something huge going on. We're gonna have to find that out. But this is terrible, because what this means is that PlayStation is getting screwed, Nintendo Switch 2 is getting screwed, Xbox is getting screwed, Steam Machine is getting screwed, and Steam is getting screwed because you're screwing over PC gamers and building custom PCs. Everything is getting screwed by this. This sets back things even more, and this is not good. Hopefully you got your stuff in a holiday, because I'm telling you right now, I do not want to see this. Like, I can't believe, like, when you would think about RAM, it's the cheapest thing in the market. Like, oh, only 32 gigabytes of RAM, man, $100, you know, $104 or whatever. I get another one, $100, you know what I mean? We got that, it's no problem. You know, maybe even sometimes $90, you know, depending on which manufacturer you wanted to choose. Now all that is just like, it's like, I can't believe my eyes. What is this, man? This is some manipulation. This is some BS, man. I can't, man. No. So like, comment, subscribe, let's go. DRAM shortages are expected to become more aggressive moving forward. And according to a new report, DRAM contract prices could rise by up to 50%. And guys, it says Q1 2026. Yeah. PC manufacturers are rushing to secure supply. PC manufacturers. But DRAM contract prices will force them to raise prices. Yeah, they're doing that. In our in-depth coverage of memory shortages, we discussed how 2026 would likely prove to be a troublesome year for gamers. Damn right. It's going to be insane. Considering that the ongoing DRAM supercycle was projected to exacerbate the issue. No. Make it more difficult for manufacturers to secure supplies. And judging by the evolution of the AI industry, yeah, where that word can exist at, a commentary by DRAM Exchange reports that DRAM contract prices in Q1 2026 are projected to rise up by 50%. So they're pretty much giving a highlighted projection here. I think this is very reasonable, considering what the hell else is going on in this nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let me turn on the light here a little bit. This is a massive increase that is expected to disrupt the PC supply chain. And if PC is going to be the priority after the AI data feed, that means consoles sitting there waiting on the DRAM chips, you know, like Sony for the PlayStation manufacturer. Though, thank God they prepared ahead till mid 2026. And I don't know how far Nintendo prepared ahead, but I know they prepared a bit. But Microsoft is screwed, because they didn't even get it for what they wanted for their AI data feed. So do you think you're going to be getting any deals on the Series X? Man, I don't know, man. I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be possible. I think the Series X is just completely screwed, and so is the Magnus in a lot of ways. Because we saw that they stormed out of that meeting. I told you who the four suppliers are. So you really think they're thinking about giving you a deal on Xbox? No, man, it's going to be about publishing and software and getting more greedy with that and crunching down and doubling, and get ready for Microsoft layoffs because it's about to come around the corner. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you right now. This situation strengthens the supplier's pricing power. Like I said, the cartels now are deteriorating the cost structure of PC OEMs dependent on module houses. The rise in DRAM prices is projected to hinder future sales momentum and increase the likelihood of further declines in inventory levels. Manufacturers are rushing to enter long-term agreements. They're trying to solidify it with memory suppliers. Remember what NVIDIA said, get your own stuff now. As evolving contract prices are forcing them to acquire inventory at higher cost. They don't have a choice. Mainstream PC OEMs are claimed to have just a few weeks of DRAM supply left. Ooh, man, that's terrible. That's not good, man. Only a few weeks. Damn, man. Y'all, these these pre-built PCs, if you thought you liked Cyberpower before, if you thought you liked the Newegg, and it ain't even just about it, it's about to get bad, man. Yeah, it's about to get bad. And given that we are entering an upgrade cycle following CES announcements, which is around the corner, it happens every January, by the way, manufacturers are looking to secure lifetime inventory, basically, as we just saw, lifetime agreements for inventory for the entire year. However, since this is a seller's market, PC OEMs are expected to pay a substantial sum to ensure that they can meet consumer demand. And they're going to want to make that profit difference back. Yeah, man, this is, well, we got reality over here. I'm bringing it to y'all. It goes Crucial and Micron. Remember, we were talking about them. They're still going, but they're going to be ending theirs soon. More importantly, the suppliers for SK Hynix and Samsung, the primary focus is on profitability. Are you guys surprised? They're choosing profit. This is why, apart from catering to the AI segment, these suppliers are also scrutinizing their customers in the PC industry, which is one of the reasons why mainstream OEMs are expected to benefit from the situations. Firms like Lenovo and Dell are already known to be preparing for extensive price hikes this quarter. That's what I tell you, that's one of the two. Then you got Apple, who's not in there, but they got a different aspect, and Asus, who's also a part of Lenovo and Dell. There it is, guys. You ready for these laptops to go up? Pre-made desktops, and it's going to be getting insane, which would likely be reflected in their upcoming products. Yeah, because the supers are coming out this year, the 5000 Super Series, and then AMD has their cards coming out. Intel needs to come with their cards with the B Series, because I wonder what they plan to do. You see what I mean? They're going to have to like find a way. And then there's some people like commenting in my thread the other day, and they're actually correct, because that's exactly what's going to happen. And they're saying that China needs to step up and start making their own GPUs, which they are doing. And they took the blueprints of other companies who it's like, man, screw them anyways, because they're screwing you over, like Nvidia and stuff, and they're making their own stuff. And I think they're going to sell something almost equivalent and make it cheaper over here into the U.S. market, but get a little bit of monopoly. But it's not going to be expensive as that. Plus, they were also getting mass-fed custom Nvidia GPUs with 32 gigabytes of VRAM in them for AI data feed. The memory shortages aren't expected to calm down anytime soon. So we see this, guys. This is a 2026 problem for sure. And with the data center build out evolving at a rapid pace, DRAM cartel suppliers, I got to say that, are struggling to keep up with demand. This is why for consumers, DDR5 and DDR4 memory prices are expected to rise significantly, even after their recent historical increases. Well, guys, we got our answers again right here. What the hell is going on now? Not just with GPUs yesterday, but with DRAM on the second day of 2026. We're seeing a potential 50% price increase, or up to 50% price increase coming in Q1 2026. And if it's going by business, we know that starts in March, where the fiscal year starts over again at the end of March 31st. So April 1st. So you still got a few months. If you see any good deals, hey man, I'm telling you, go for it. Now let's go down. I mean, we got this guy says, I believe the shortage is fake. There is some manipulation, but I wouldn't say that. You go online and every DDR RAM kit is available. The effect RAM is server grade RAM. So why are gamers having to pay a premium? I'm telling you, in a few years, y'all going to see a class action lawsuit. That depends. We got a reply here. They said they won't increase production to meet demand. Thought that MSI guy said they're going to drop by second half of the year. Guess I'll keep that 64 gigabyte kit I ordered for 280 that's arriving soon and sell it when prices get higher. It's already easy 100 profit and they don't want to increase production. Yeah, not for you. Firms like Lenovo and Dell, as we were talking about, he says actually companies like Lenovo are not expected to be affected as much as they have access to domestic suppliers. In any case, the U.S. orchestrated shortage may not last as long as Chinese DRAM manufacturers are ramping up their output to counter it. That's what I was saying. That's something they have to do, because when you think about these type of brands too, it's coming out of Taiwan, some of that stuff is coming out of China. So if they can counter that within the place that they're manufacturing at, maybe they can find and provide PC gamers with a boon, which would also help out console gamers. Because that's going to affect PS5, it's going to affect PS5 Pro, it's going to affect the Nintendo Switch 2, it's going to affect the Xbox Series X and S, that's going to affect the Steam machine, that's going to affect the Xbox Magnus getting ready to get made, and unless Microsoft cancels it, because there's a chance that may happen, that's going to affect the PS6, but not as much as the Magnus, because Sony could just delay that out, because Sony is in the industry, just like Nintendo's in the industry firmly. Microsoft could just exit out because they're so focused on AI. I'm not saying I want that to happen to the Magnus, though. I don't think it's going to sell any much more than the Steam machine is going to sell, which I think could outsell it, because they can end up making a more advanced model. I don't know, because you can't trust Microsoft when they get like this. They're really angry right now, I'm telling you, because they're not getting their way, and they're going to have to pay a fortune, and they do not want to do that. So yeah, this is going to be rough, y'all. You're going to have to let me know what you think about this now that we got the true knowledge on this about what the hell's going to be going on. And like we said, it's left up to SK Hynix and Samsung, and they're not playing nice, and they're not subsidizing, and they're going for straight profit because the opportunity is here, and they're basically saying, deal with it. We chose R4, like I told you. We chose Lenovo, Dell, Asus, and Apple. And if you ain't got that deal, guess what? You better find a way, or you're going to have to pay like crazy. And the demand is so insane, like they said right here, with shortages, it is now appearing to be out of control already. So expect when it does get there, because all this pressure is on us, we're going to make you pay for that. So like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you guys think. Man, later, y'all. This sucks.